So Star Fox Zero recently hit the Wii U and has been getting a bit of a mixed reception from both critics and fans of the Star Fox series. Me personally, I love the game. I thought it was a lot of fun. Not a great game, but a very, very good game. Looks great, plays pretty solid as well, and it was a really fun experience, and it kind of reminded me of the first time I played Star Fox 64. But then I thought to myself, I haven't played Star Fox 64 in a long time. Is it really as good as I remember it, or is it just nostalgia talking? So last night I decided to boot up my N64 and play some Star Fox 64. Marathoned it for quite a while and defeated the game, and then I thought to myself, what's a better Star Fox game? Is Star Fox Zero the best Star Fox game, that it's the newest one, or is Star Fox 64 still the king? So in this video we're going to put these two juggernauts up next to each other and see which is the best Star Fox game between Star Fox 64 and Star Fox Zero. So if there's one area where Star Fox Zero just has head and shoulders above Star Fox 64, it's obviously going to be the graphics. The graphics are much enhanced. Star Fox 64 is a 19-year-old game, whereas Star Fox Zero is but a month old. So Star Fox Zero, of course, has these high-resolution textures, all these cool particle effects, crazy scenes going on, insane boss battles, and it's just a very solid looking game. It's not one of the best on the Wii U in terms of graphics, but it's definitely up there. It's a very solid experience graphically, and most importantly, there's not a whole lot of slowdown. Star Fox 64, it looks good for the time frame, and it still looks good today, but there are some serious slowdown issues. Not necessarily with the R-Wing, but when you're playing with the Landmaster, or especially in the underwater level, there can be some real slowdown issues, and that kind of mars the experience a little bit for me. So in terms of graphics, Star Fox Zero is definitely going to take the cake, but Star Fox 64 is still a pretty solid looking game. So of course, gameplay is a huge emphasis in Star Fox games, and a lot of people were complaining about the controls in Star Fox Zero, saying that they were not intuitive and the motion control felt tacked on. Me personally, I did not have much of a problem with it. I thought it was a pretty smooth experience, and it was solid. It got the job done, and I never really struggled or felt that I was limited by the controls. But after playing Star Fox 64, maybe I was. Maybe I just didn't realize it, because playing Star Fox 64 was smooth as butter. I could do anything I wanted to when I wanted to. It felt like I just had an immersive level of control, and the Wii U gamepad really does add in Star Fox Zero to the immersion factor, but it definitely doesn't feel as good as Star Fox 64. Controlling the R-Wing, controlling the Landmaster just felt so tight and responsive, and you don't really get that in Star Fox Zero in my opinion. Plus, when you look at the vehicle variations, I really like the ones in Star Fox 64 better. You have the Landmaster, you have the R-Wing, and you have that cool underwater vehicle, which I'm shocked that they didn't redo that in Star Fox Zero. That level is so cool. Yes, it has slowdown issues, but using your torpedoes to kind of light your way was just so awesome and innovative, and I really had a lot of fun in that level, and it's a shame that they didn't include it in Star Fox Zero. Instead, you have kind of like a walker thing. That's kind of fun, I guess, but the little propeller helicopter too is okay, but I don't know. Star Fox 64 just has much better gameplay and much better vehicle variation. So in terms of gameplay, I gotta give it to Star Fox 64. So the final thing I want to look at is just the overall total package and the overall value that these games offer. Star Fox Zero did get some flack for not having any multiplayer aside from local co-op, and I'm cool with that flack because honestly, it needs multiplayer. Star Fox Command on the DS had multiplayer online. Why wouldn't this game? And if you look at Star Fox 64, there is some multiplayer. Sure, it's limited, but the versus mode is really fun, honestly, and you could sink a couple hours into it and have a bunch of fun, blasting people on foot, the Landmaster in air, and it adds just replay value to the game that just makes it timeless, whereas Star Fox Zero is pretty much a pigeonholed single-player experience. Now, it does come with Star Fox Guard, but I haven't had a chance to play that yet, as I sent that copy off to another reviewer on Nintendo Enthusiast, but I've heard good things about it. But still, I much would have rather had a traditional multiplayer and something online, something with dogfights or something, because that really seems like a missed opportunity. Plus, Star Fox 64 was innovative in that it came with the Rumble Pack, and that was a huge thing back in the day to add force feedback to your games, and Star Fox Zero doesn't really come with anything like that. Sure, there's amiibo support that's actually pretty cool, so I'm going to kind of give this one a draw. If anything, I'll lean it more towards Star Fox 64 just because of the traditional multiplayer. So at the end of the day, which game is better, Star Fox 64 or Star Fox Zero? I think taking everything into account, Star Fox 64 is still the better game and is the premier Star Fox game of all time. And I don't know if that'll ever be upstaged. Star Fox Zero is great. It's a great reimagining and a great retelling of the story of Star Fox 64, but it just doesn't hold up, in my opinion, to the original game. The vehicle variations are not as good, and while the graphics are just superb and the gameplay is pretty solid, the controls kind of do mar it, and it doesn't feel as smooth as Star Fox 64 did. Couple that with the fact that there's no multiplayer, and Star Fox Zero is a great game to check out and a really fun game to play, but in my opinion, Star Fox 64 is still the king. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comments section below. Which game do you prefer, Star Fox 64 or Star Fox Zero? And, let's have a little discussion about it, because that's what this is all about. It's about discussion. Thank you for liking this video, thank you for subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Later.